What's up guys, this is Ultimate iDevice Vids, and I've got the new Apple AirTags in hand. In this video, we're going to be doing a variety of durability tests on these, including a scratch test, drop test, water test, and we're even going to throw them in the washing machine and the dryer for a cycle as well. As of course, these are devices that you're going to be jamming into your wallet, in your pockets, throwing them into a bag. They're definitely going to be exposed to a lot of elements, so of course it's important that they are able to hold up. And it's definitely worth mentioning that most people using AirTags are probably going to be using them in some sort of case or keychain loop. But in this video, I just want to test them completely as they are with no case, and of course see how they hold up in all the tests we're going to be doing today. So we have two AirTags we're going to be using for this video. We're going to be using one for the scratch and drop tests, and we're going to be using the other one for the water tests. So let's begin with the scratch test. So first things first, we're just going to go ahead and test how it reacts to, maybe something in your pocket like your keys, for instance, with a little bit of pressure. Of course, when you jam a bunch of things in your pocket, things can rub up against each other, and, it's pretty likely that your keys will, be pushed up against an AirTag. So just with, moderate force, I'm just going to go ahead and run a key across the mirror shiny surface of the AirTag here. And after wiping it down, you can see that scratch is visible and there to stay. So those initial reports suggesting that this shiny surface scratches easily do look to be true. And we'll also scratch the matte Apple logo printed on top there and see how it reacts with that material. And after wiping it down, you can see here that also does definitely show the scratch. And that was the same scratch with just a moderate amount of pressure. And lastly, we'll test the plastic side of the AirTag. And side note, both of the AirTags we're using in this video's plastic sides were already scratched a little bit. I'm not sure if this is a result of me putting them on a metal table for a little bit, or maybe the way I opened the package, but either way, we'll just run the key across the back as well. And of course, we'll wipe it down. And as you can see there, it is visible, but not nearly as visible as that mirror finish on the other side. And quickly, next, I just want to throw this AirTag into this little bin here of keys, and we'll give it a good shake and see how the AirTag handles that. And popping it open here, we'll go ahead and wipe it down, and then inspecting it afterwards, you could see there's definitely, some little minor scratches kind of all around that mirror finish. It's honestly not as bad as I thought it would be though. And of course, the other side, the plastic side, doesn't really show anything nearly as bad. And we'll throw it back in the bin just for one more good shaking session here. Then we'll take a look again and of course wipe it down before we inspect it. And then taking a look that last time, you can see there's definitely some more of those little minor scratches, but again, as to be expected when being thrown around with keys like that. And in a darker environment here, as you can see, it's a little bit more visible, the contrast between the scratched one on the left and the clean, non-scratched one on the right. And as to be expected after these tests, as you can see, the AirTag still works perfectly. And next, we're going to do some drop tests. So we're going to start off using our drop machine here. We're going to do 3 drops, one dropping it onto one of the sides, and then the next one onto the other side, and then one onto the side. And we're going to do it at 5.2 feet. And after those 3 drops, taking a look here, you can see the shiny side of the AirTag definitely took some of those impacts. You can see there's some abrasion marks there that you can feel with your fingernail if you run it across. But overall, not in terrible shape. The side has a tiny little abrasion on it where it impacted, and the back side, again, definitely looks better as it's not that shiny, reflective metal material. And most importantly, as you can see, the AirTag still functions perfectly fine with the sound and everything. And we're going to do 2 more drops from each side of the AirTag. And after all those drops, the shiny side of the AirTag continues to show some more impact points, and around the edge of the metal part, it's starting to get a little bit jagged at points, and there's another impact point on the side of the AirTag when it was dropped there, and the other side looks just a little bit more scratched up. And of course, most importantly, it still works perfectly. And since it did so well with all those drops, we're taking it to the next level, taking it outside for this next part. So we have an 18-foot drop, give or take here. And I'm just going to go ahead and toss the AirTag off. And that was a close one. We almost lost it down the grate there, as you can see. But as you can see, it looks fine. And inspecting it after that fall, everything basically looks the same, except for there's a pretty big chip out of the AirTag on the side where it impacted, as you can see right there. But most importantly, it still works fine after everything we put it through. So in terms of drop resistance, I don't think you're going to have any issues with the AirTag. Alright, so next we're going to do some water resistance tests. So I've just got a plastic bin here. We're going to fill it up with water. This is going to be about 8 inches of water, so nothing too crazy, not even close to the limit, the IP67 limit of 30 minutes at a meter. But I just want to see, you know, for these daily household occurrences, maybe the bathtub, the sink, whatever it may be, how it's going to do. So we're going to use a fresh AirTag for the water test. So we're going to set aside the one we've been using, got a fresh one here. And we're going to toss it in this bin of water for 10 minutes. And we're just going to start a timer here. I don't think it's going to have any issue because it's, you know, rated for well above this, but we'll leave it in here for 10 minutes. And interestingly enough, I noticed that I was actually able to track the AirTag underwater. Even the sound was audible. Now, if this was a very deep amount of water, maybe it wouldn't be trackable, but in this case it was. But all right, after 10 minutes, we're just going to pull it out here. And we'll go ahead and dry it off as well. And as you can see here, testing it out, it still works perfectly. Really nothing to complain about. Even the sound still works. All right, so next up is a scenario that will most likely happen to a lot of people. Let's say you forget one of these in your pocket and you go ahead and wash your clothes in the washing machine. So we're going to throw it in for a cycle. We're going to leave it in here for about an hour, maybe a little more, hour and 10 minutes. So we'll just start that. And we'll see how they do. We'll come back, check in on them, and then we'll throw them in the dryer after that. And all right, checking back in here. Let's see how it did. So unfortunately, it looks like it fell out of the pocket here. And all right, here it is. And we'll test out if it still works. And yeah, as you can see here, it still works perfectly fine. Same thing with the sound, still working okay. So next we'll throw all these clothes in the dryer and we'll come back in about another hour and 15 minutes. And all right, let's pop this open and find the AirTag. I know it fell out of the pocket because I heard it rattling around like crazy. And there it is. I could see it got scratched up quite a bit being thrown around the dryer. And as I just said, as you can see, it is definitely scratched up quite a bit. But as you can see here, still works perfectly fine. Most importantly, sound still works. Everything is all good. So that's fantastic that it survived all that. Again, I would certainly never recommend it, but in this case, it seems to have done okay. And lastly, we're going to throw it back in our bin of water here for an hour. Again, I think it's going to do just fine, but, you know, just to be extensive here, I thought I'd throw it in for a longer period of time here. And halfway through the hour, I just wanted to move it around a little bit. Just see if that impacts things at all. And we'll close out the last 30 minutes here. And okay, it's been an hour, so we'll pull it out. And of course, dry it off. And once again, as you can see here, still works perfectly fine, sound and all. So, as you've seen throughout this video, the AirTags have proven to be quite durable. The only thing that we really didn't test for in this video is extreme water depth, like sinking them in the pool or in the ocean. But in terms of, you know, daily exposure to water, daily exposure to dropping, you're probably going to be just fine with the AirTags. I definitely wouldn't recommend pushing them to their limit, but, you know, you're probably going to be fine with, again, daily accidents. Of course, they do scratch semi-easily due to that, you know, metal material. But again, that's not really anything that I would worry about. This product is meant to be out in the elements and used. And what I'm going to be doing is, starting with the upload date of this video, following for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to update in the description down below if these two AirTags are still working. Because a lot of the time with damaged technology, it can take a little while for the damage to rear its head. So again, just to be thorough with this, for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to update in the description if these guys are still working, and if they're not still working, I'll list what's going on with them. But alright guys, that just about wraps it up for this video. If you guys are picking up any of these AirTags, let me know down below in the comment section, and also let me know what you're going to use them for if you are. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.